Ladies and gentlemen, and everyone in between, welcome back to another totally inappropriate Stellaris Let's Play. The year is 2232. Our empire has existed for 32 years, and during that time it's accomplished quite a bit. Just by looking at the outliner on the right, I've got 2 sectors and 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 worlds. Now 3 of those worlds are still showing they're in the initial colonization phase, but as time goes on that will definitely update itself and become more. So, let's take a look and see what we can do with ourselves. The current state of the universe is one of people expanding out and filling in the gaps, both to their neighbors and in their own boundaries. We still have quite a bit of blank space here, and I want to see if I can find who lives in these places. So, the thing to do, especially initially, is to reach out to the people that live in those zones, and see if they know anybody I don't. Alright, my evangelizing crustaceans. Who do you know that I do not? Let's see here. Do you like food? Yeah. Oh, there we go. The Hydrax Hegemony. Ah, you're a bandit kingdom. Isn't that great? So the Hydrax Hegemony is a bandit kingdom who likes to take slaves, and yeah, they're just awful. Yeah, that's great. The Dawatha De Danann. Yes, basically our space elves. The Dawatha De Danann are evangelizing zealots who are authoritarian, they like to conquer territory, and they got a pretty good religion thing going. So as we can imagine, they're, oh, and as you can see from this little background thing, they live on a ring world. That's what this is. And the Creeping Cold. Okay, story time. I literally had a nightmare one night, and I woke up and I created the Creeping Cold. A devouring swarm that wants to freeze the galaxy and devour all that is warm. Yeah. And the Children of Gaia, also known as Those Humans. They are Federation builders, representative democracy, egalitarian, and fanatic xenophiles. Oh, you mean like us? So yeah, that's great. Alright, so that's a whole lot more over here. Well, there's the Children of Gaia. Here is our wondrous blue globe with all of its things. You can see Africa. There's South America. Good stuff. So yeah, if you ever wondered, is Earth in this game? Why yes, it is. Huh. Apparently the otaku is talking to people, and my ally. Hey, that's good. They're making friends with my allies. I like that. The Tuxcan Bloc military junta wants a commercial pact with me. Well, okay, so you're down here. They are improving our relations. Who do you dislike? Okay, so they dislike... Oh, because I dislike the Green Tide, and they're like, hey, that's good. So everybody who dislikes the Green Tide actually likes me now because I rivaled them. So let's see here. Yeah, so if you look at it, these guys, and these guys will all like me a little bit more because I have rivaled with the Green Tide. Yay, politics. Okay, let's see here. Well, you don't have slavery. That makes me feel better. Oh. They survived a doomsday thing. That's good. That means their home planet exploded at some point. Okay. Well, you know what? If you want to be my special friends, I have a fair chunk of influence right now, so sure. However, I would very much like to see if I could get into a good relationship with you guys. Because it's Earth. Okay, what is needed to make a commercial pack? Our distance is pretty rough. Trade value of 1. Okay, well how's this? I will... Communications, active cellular link. That way we can look into each other's territories. And... I'll give you minerals, energy, and some food. An aggression pact, that's good. Good.
New frontiers established.
Who's insulting me? The Green Tide? Oh, that's fine. Hey, the fetish hub has been established. That's good. Okay. Requires positive relationships or an envoy? Oh, well. Who do we have? Well, I've got these two diplomats, these two envoys currently helping out my, my federation, so I'll just take one of them. Send him over here. Now, oh. Yeah, we could do migration treaty. But not commercial, huh? Not yet. Well, let's do a migration treaty. That'll get us a little bit higher up. Yeah. And then we'll stay friends for a little bit. And that will make it so that we trust each other, and once we trust each other a little bit more, you might be willing to do some commercial packs. Yep. That's the goal. Alright, who else do we know? Let's look at the... Dewatha Dudanan. Trade...
Kalpadesh Segeda Supralit.
The Gem Dragon Empire. There we go, look at that. You're authoritarian, you're materialists, you're a despotic hegemony. And so, yeah, Gem Dragons. I love these guys. I also made them, so yay. They end up being jerkwads most of the time, though, because they are dragons. But hey, they're right on the other side of the tentacle monsters. So, it's quite possible... Yeah, you sound so adorable. So it is quite possible that at some point they'll have to rival with the tentacle monsters, and then they'll like me just a little bit more. Oh, look at that. So, I am willing to hazard a guess there's something mean-spirited in this little space right here. So everything here points to this territory, everything here points to this territory, and yet nobody's taken it. That means there's probably a gigantic Cthulian monster that exists in this place, which is the reason why these two groups do not hate each other, because they can't really reach. Yeah, it's interesting. Okay. Well, the Majestic Otaku Empire is becoming friends with my federated ally. What would it take? Oh, hey. Oh, yeah. Alright. A galactic community. As more and more spacefaring civilizations establish formal relationships with one another, the galaxy is becoming a vibrant and lively place. To avoid tragic misunderstandings between nations, an increasing number of diplomats have called for the establishment of a new pan-galactic organization, a community, if you will, where the empires of the galaxy can meet to discuss important matters. Should the Consentical Unity pledge its support to the creation of a galactic community? Why, yes, of course. Pan-galactic civilizations have the best orgies. Wow, that is a lot of fleet. Someone used a mining laser from orbit approximately 5,000 years ago to carve a large body of writing into the surface of Drim 4. The massive script covers a large portion of the planet's upper hemisphere, and appears to be a short story chronicling the difficult life of an alien merchant. Fascinating. I love that. +3 to societal research. There you go, right up there. Alright, so once that gets done, then you can come back. Right now, there's not a heck of a lot going on in the universe, at least not for me. The peaceful part of the game is still moving along, everyone just drifting slowly through the cosmos, making certain they're building things, slowly taking up the little pieces of territory that I haven't really done yet. There is a star system. I have no idea what this is. Well then. You're bored? Oh, wait. Alien vessels. Oh, okay, that's what that... Wait, what about this? Yeah, go survey that. There we go. I like it when I find a space that it's like, oh, wait a minute, I haven't even checked that out yet. Ooh, the underground vault. Geological surveys conducted by our colonists on Yif Research Corps have revealed a massive vault buried deep within the mountain range. All evidence points towards this being some kind of fallout shelter built by the same species that perished on this planet during its ancient nuclear war. The vault has been sealed for many centuries, but our instruments have detected a faint power signature emanating from within. Our scientists are eager to open the vault and discover what lies beneath its reinforced doors. How many video games? How many video games? Is this not like the start of the game? Or like Borderlands where it's the end of the game? Alright, let's open the vault. Eek.
Situation log updated.
Meanwhile, a whiff of something. This is so gross. The Longshore Drifter has recovered an elongated metal box from the surface of Dim 5. Clusters of small perforations on 5 sides lead our science officer to believe it is not a container, but some sort of aerosol dispersal device. Initial tests seem to confirm their suspicions, as trace aromics still emanate from the object. A special project has been issued to confirm whether it might be an information-carrying device constructed by some alien race communicating primarily through the secretion and reception of atmosphere-borne chemical compounds, also known as smells. That...
Situation log updated.
That would just be gross. Pull my finger. Smell this. Hey, y'all, does this smell terrible? Uh-huh. Alright. Well, since you're here, you might as well just, you know, research that there project. Get that box full of nasty smell of things, you. Alright, here's the vaults. Track, go to right there. Oh. Well, you're right here. Control, shift. We don't need a ship to research this project. What? Oh! I could just push the research button. Okay, that's cool. What am I interrupting? Oh, that's fine. We can get star holds later. There's a whole bunch of people I know that play this game entirely on fast settings. Ha ha ha. Okay, well, first of all, oh, our trade duration with the majestic Otaku Empire has expired. And our archaeological site is pending. Okay. A whiff of something. The box is indeed a document of sort. Our science officer admits that they had been hoping for a historical record of some kind, or some kind of codex significant to whatever culture left it behind, but they were disappointed. The nature of the aromatic box seems to be a collection of fairly short narratives which, going by the rapid changes in odor towards the end of each sequence, are intended to surprise or be interpreted as comedic. The techniques used to store and reproduce specific smells is of some interest, but the tales it tells are not. The crew of the Longshore Drifter are left with the uncomfortable feeling that they have unwittingly become intimately familiar with what certain gaseous byproducts of the alien's digestive system smell like. However, our scientist is unwilling to speculate as to why the box was dumped on this frozen hellscape of a planet. Maybe it was a jilted lover, you know. Somebody from their world was like, I am the best writer there is. And they made a bunch of stories, and somebody thought they were so terrible that they left them here. Or maybe one of their scientists or somebody living on this world was a writer, and, you know, this was just all they could do. Alright, anyone home? Tempers are running high at the Oh no. Tempers are running high at the archaeology site. And several archaeologists are openly disagreeing with their leader about how best to proceed. Progress at the site has been slowed to a crawl. -3 clues. Well, y'all are just gonna have to learn to get over that. Alright, well, since I now have that trade deal complete, let's see here. What could I get? Let's look at alloys. Yeah, I can get 9 again. And we'll look at minerals. Yeah, we'll do a little bit of food. Oh. That worked out real well. Okay. Yep, it all works out. Yeah, politics. Politics, 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 politics.
New frontiers established.
Ah, the crazy things. Wait, where are you? You're over here. Why are you over here? Go over here. Well, I guess you are going to turn around and go back this way. Here, how's this? How about I just put you on automatic exploration? What happens if I put you on automatic exploration? You go up there? Why? Why do you not go down here? Go down here. Explore some things. It'll be fine. Nom nom, they get devoured. Okay. Ew, the fetish colony is now open for business. Younger Baol fossil specimens have been uncovered from the archaeological records, though these no longer have diminished hive neurologies. Instead, the structures required for subspace communication are entirely missing. Carbon dating of these specimens have confirmed that some hundreds of years following the Grunur invasion, the Baol began to devolve their ability to connect to one another as a hive mind. Unfortunately, it seems no further relevant data can be extracted from the sites. How strange. A Grunur distress signal. Our scientists are picking up a distress signal bearing Grunur datalogical signatures. It appears to originate from a system previously unknown to us near Mirim. What kind of ancient message could this possibly contain? Oh, yeah. Probably the Grunur homeworld. Alright. It's a 20-tile tomb world. See, I'm so glad I'm all like geared up for... Thank you, Praku. Thank you. Alright, so we've got another one of those going again. I gotta be careful with my food. I'm using a lot of it to buy people's love. Now, typically when it comes to negotiations, there will be at least one resource that a lot of different... there will usually be one resource that an empire lacks. And for most empires, it's actually food. Which is great, because I almost always have way too much food. And I can use it as a second, like a second bank in a lot of cases. It's great. Hey, good news, Bob. What is it, Chuck? There's no monsters in this here space. Oh, that's good. That's good. No monsters? Yeah, no monsters. Alright. Keep scanning. Alright, the birth of the galactic community. This historic day, several of the galaxy's prominent spacefaring empires, including the Concentrical Unity, have announced the creation of the galactic community. Alright. So now we have another icon up here, this little swirly galaxy symbol. Here is the galactic community. So, what does the galactic community do? Well, it shows here, this is the voting power of every single race in the galaxy. Right now I have a voting power of 463. Now, humans have more than I do, and so does my federated ally. That's interesting. What do we have here? What do you say now? Okay, so I've got a little bit about my empire, my symbols, my federation. Galactic focus is pass a resolution. Prove the naysayers that the galactic community can walk together. So, if you look down here, this is the Senate floor. Things that we're going to vote on will go over here. And then for or against will be over here, and then anyone abstaining goes down here. Here's the resolutions. Now, these different categories will change things in the galactic community and then will lean in that direction. So, if you have, let's see here, so let's go to the top, commerce and industry. Alright, so this thing right here, galactic commerce. There's a bunch of stuff down here, but if I go to buzzword standardization, for the cost of 100 influence, I can put this out there. And it causes, it says we have to establish our enterprises to work seamlessly with one another. Streamlining strategic communication empowers our agents, making hitting key performance metrics easier. So, buzzword standardization. Diplomatic weight from economy goes up 20%. Trade value across your entire, across the whole galaxy goes up 5%. And bureaucratic upkeep also goes up by 5%. So this is a rather standard thing. I'm sure it's going to pass the moment it hits. I will not be spending my influence to do these things. I almost never do. Because the other empires, they spend the influence for me. But there are some things down here that I'm really big about. For example, over here if I go to the Galactic Market, I can get ban organic slave trade. Oh wow, it's only 25 influence, eh? But it has weak support. A lot of different groups really like their slaves. So right now, this would be a waste of resources for me to put forth. Once the galaxy gets a little bit more developed, I've discovered that cultures that are a little bit more developed are willing to give up their slaves. And it also helps for cultures like ours to simply have more political clout. Once I do that, once we have more political clout, we have a better chance of actually passing something like ban organic slave trade. But also what will happen is, over time, empires are going to go to war. Well, the empires that like slaves tend to go to war with the empires that don't like slaves. Not necessarily because of the slavery itself, but because slave-using empires tend to be authoritarian and or xenophobes. So they tend to be very warlike aggressive races. They get into a lot of fights with people. So I am a xenophile and I'm egalitarian. So those two things make it so that I'm very likely to get into fights with the different races that promote slavery. So at some point that's going to happen. I'm going to get into a fight with some slavers, and I'm probably going to kick their teeth in because my technology will be better than theirs. And then, once I have depopulated the galaxy a bit of slave races, it'll be easier to vote slavery out of vogue. Now, I do have a little thing here. I can assign envoys to this, and your diplomatic weight will increase by 10% per envoy that you put out there. Right now, it's just not that big a deal for me. Most of the beginning things that get put out in the galactic community are very simple. Everybody wants them, so I'm not worried about having to get that yet. Oh, that's interesting. Looks like the Green Tide and the Sutherian Union have fought already. Oh, ha ha! The Nerodi Wardens and the Tentacle Monster Despoilers are buddying up? Really? Wow. That's really interesting. I did not expect that. Something strange bedfellows. Oh, look at that. We got 4. Alright, so we've got... Hey, ban the organic slave trade. It happened immediately. Yeah, I'll vote for that. Now watch as other people get stuff going and it gets pushed way down the list. Buzzword standardization I'll support. And you'll notice sometimes you'll support something and it'll go higher up. Or you'll push it further down. Charter of Workers' Rights. Wait from... Oh, wait. Pause. Where'd it go? Here we go. Charter for Workers' Rights. Diplomatic weight from POPs goes up 20%. Worker happiness goes up to 5%. Worker political power also increases. Well, I'm fine with that. Oh, children of Gaia. Of course the humans would be into that. Readied shields. Diplomatic weight from fleet power goes up 20%. Yeah, no, that's fine. I'm good with that. So, readied shields is fine. I'm fine with that. Diplomatic weight from economy goes up. That'll definitely be a thing I'll want. Regulatory factories made by the Praku? Huh. Well, apparently this has just a metric ton of diplomatic support, so I might as well just throw in with it. Then comfort the fallen. Diplomatic weight from tech drops by 20. No. Like, this is cute. Comforting the fallen. The lowest amongst us are still one of us, and we should come together to assist them in their time of need. Yeah, I'm still going to oppose this, because this will drop my weight from tech by 20%. I'm not okay with that. While exploring some ruins near one of our major settlements on Yif encampment, a few colonists inadvertently activated the timer on an undetonated hydrogen bomb left over from the moon's previous nuclear war. With an estimated yield of 35 megatons, the bomb will wipe out several populated centers if it detonates. It isn't stable enough to be moved, and there is no time to evacuate the entire region. We must disarm it. Oh, it's a project?
Situation log updated.
That's great. So I just have to research this thing? Crap. Well... Okay, you know what? Cancel? Just do that first. I know I lost all that progress, and that really upsets me, but you know what? We're doing that next. And meanwhile... That's the thing. Okay, so all that happened. Now let's go over here. So up here, my education campaign and my recycling campaign have expired. I don't have quite as much money. I only have 2.1k cash right now. I can only do one of them. Well, the education campaign is cool, plus 25% leadership experience, but the recycling campaign, minus 10% to consumer good, is, you know, we're definitely doing that. Plus, I'm at like a negative 10 on consumer goods already. So I need to get into that. Okay, what else is going on here? There was another one. Cooperative research channels. Oh, that'll be fine at some point. You can see all these things are bouncing around as different groups say yay and nay to them.
Construction complete.
Ban organic slaves is way down here. Derelict Space Station. A small team from our colony on Fetish Hub recently boarded a primitive space station that had been left in orbit by the planet's original inhabitants. The mummified remains of the station's crew could still be found clustered around viewports facing the planet. They must have realized they were doomed after seeing the billowing mushroom clouds below, and communication logs shows that the astronauts made several futile and increasingly frantic attempts to contact the surface before they eventually ran out of supplies. The station is in good condition, and it has afforded our engineers a rare glimpse into the early stages of a planetary space program. They have gained several ideas from the primitive yet ingenious solutions used in the station's design. Interesting. Ah, gave me 150 engineering research. So sad. Just on that planet. You're on your starbase and you look out the window and you're like, oh no, our world.
System survey complete.
It's horrible. New frontier is established. Cool. Oh look, you finished. Now build the things.
System survey complete.
Then build up here. Yep, we're just filling in all the gaps. What else is going on here? Cooperative research channels has gone way up. We should establish protocols that permit the scientists of the galactic community to share and review discoveries more easily. Plus 20% from tech, plus 10% from research station output, and plus 5% for starbase upkeep. Sure. Yeah, looks like somebody else. Oh, the Praku. Poking their noses around. Well, you can poke your nose around, but it's mine. It's all mine. A patron newsletter. Here, fellows, the latest newsletter for all our patrons. Sadly, nothing much has been produced in the Enclave. Most of the artists have fallen into a deep melancholy, from where no inspiration can be drawn. Ugh, I've been there, bud. I've been there. The mood is dire, but hopeful. Creation takes time, after all. Any donations that might help the group rekindle their interest in the material plane again would be of tremendous help. Well, let's see here. A donation of 500 credits would gain me 50 influence. Yeah, I'll do that.
Research complete.
I need to not spend money for a little while. Alright, my tile blocker for glaciers is finished. And now let's look at... I'll go ahead and get a tile planetary resurfacing for these types of tile blockers. What are these? Impassable mountains. Yep. Well, our FTL inhibitors are almost finished. We're disarming a nuclear bomb, yeah. Science, baby.
System survey complete.
Oh, look, this planet has been checked out. So this is the Grineer homeworld, Grineer Prime. Dang. It's got a lot of energy production and a ton of mineral production. Well, that's good. What else do we have here? Radioactive wastelands, city ruins. Yeah, okay. That's good stuff. The orbital space around Fetish Colony is clustered with debris left by the alien civilization that once inhabited the planet. Before they wiped themselves out, their early space programs saw the launch of thousands of primitive satellites and missile launch platforms. Many of these were destroyed by anti-satellite weapons during the planet's destructive nuclear war, adding even more space junk to the mix. Our colony on the surface has developed to a point where this dense field of debris is interfering with its infrastructure. We cannot use satellites, and civilization orbital flight are limited to narrow launch windows. Perhaps something should be done about this. Okay, orbital debris modified, added, giving the following effects, plus 10% building cost. Oh.
Situation log updated.
Let's see here. Research time 60 days. Does this... Oh, I have to bring a scientist over here. Alright. Well, you're down here looking at things. Oh, look at that in Arctic world.
Research complete.
Once you swing around, you can go over here and research that. And that'll give you the ability to clear that up. The Baol Seeker crew have traced the Grineer distress signal to its source, uncovering a crumbling Grineer research facility, hanging in orbit of the otherwise long-abandoned planet. The facility is reaching critical energy failure, having survived for millions of years on an extensive network of solar panels and decaying auto repair systems, all of which are now approaching terminal status. Shockingly enough, scans of the facility are revealing the presence of a single life form. The crew have dispatched an away team and are ready to report on screen. The last Baol. Deep in the dilapidated ruins of the time-worn Grineer research facility, among the long-defunct computer panels and deteriorated research equipment, our ship's crew has made an incredible find. Pin-cushioned by nutrient tubes and critically failing life support systems lies one single organism, the last Baol, miraculously still alive, surrounded by the sludgy remains of other specimens in a row of cracked and leaking vats. Owing to our extensive previous archaeological studies of the specimen, we should be able to attempt communication with this last specimen. A visitor? Can it be? The Baol shudders in its vat. But you are not the ones who put us here. Though you come as the last alarms sound. Have you come to give us peace at last? Perhaps, but we have a few questions. The Baol is silent for a moment. Then ask, we have waited millennia. We can endure a moment more. Tell us about yourself. Long minutes pass before the Baol responds. Ourselves? Our self? Yes. What is there to tell? We sat beneath the stars on soft earth, unfurled our leaves like sails to the sun overhead. We remember every drop of water that quenched them in the parched summers, every shivering horror that blanketed them in the winters. We bent in the wind as the stars wheeled overhead. We were uprooted. We were burned. We were sliced. We were left here. We watched our others rot in their glass prisons. What happened to the Baol? Again, the Baol is long silent before managing a reply. When the burners came, entire colonies were silenced before the danger was even known to us. Like a limb gone limp, nerves cut suddenly and totally at the base. And then we lost the next, and the next, and the next. One by one, their voices left the chorus. We lost our others. Their silence deafened us who remained. Can you understand, visitor? We could not bear to hear more agony. The burners were swift like you, swifter. And before we could withdraw, they had set us all aflame. All burnt to ash, and the air filled with that gray agony, the dust of our lost. Would you like to join us? A sort of shiver runs through the Baol. You have the distinct impression it is laughing. No, we have lived too long in this wretched state. Now we long for an end. Though first, will you tell us? We have been sealed in here for so long, blind to all but this room, watching the stale air slowly wear the station down to its metal bones. Tell us, does our kind yet live? In a sense, they are no longer sapient. Slowly, almost imperceptibly, the leaves of the last Baol shrivel in on themselves, just a little more. Perhaps that is best. The machine pumping mysterious fluids in and out of the creature's body begin to sputter and hiss. It is clearly on its last mechanical gasp, and the Baol will perish without it. Silence, yes. At last it approaches. We welcome it, as our brethren did so long ago. Farewell, Consenticle. May your kin endure less agony in this world. And with that, we say farewell to the last Baol, an infinitely vast creature, a hive mind who saw the comings and goings of millions of years, tortured by its captors for 7 million years, a fate beyond anything we can possibly imagine. It was delighted to go at the end, happy to see us, knowing that the universe would not be without life, other creatures who would pass along in time, coming and going throughout the flow of eternity. But as for its life in this place, it is happy to say farewell.